folks from I Love You Venice. A long time that we didn't see each other. Ciao Nina, buongiorno. Ciao a tutti. Hello, hello, hello. Today is freezing. We got Sebastiano that is right over there, that is trying to play the unknown tourist, as you can see. And right now, let me check it out, a bunch of buttons so we can organize everything. Yeah, definitely is a long time that we don't see each other. Actually, here everything is fine, everything is great, no complaint, except that is a kind of freezing at the moment. Up in the Alps is snowing pretty much everywhere, and the weather is just phenomenal at the moment, so we cannot complain at all. So give me a second. There we go. Let me check it out, a bunch of buttons so we can organize everything. Yeah, fantastic. And so we're about to start our tour. That the weather is phenomenal, even if it is freezing. At this specific moment we are right by the area of the Accademia. Ciao Tobias, how are you? And so let me check it out. Here we go. That's one of the most outstanding view that we got at the moment, as you can see. And the entire situation is just phenomenal, as you can tell. We're exactly, ciao Violetta, buongiorno. We're right by the Accademia Bridge, and as you can see, let me see, are you able to see everything? Yeah, that I'm just checking the chat if everything is working. It seems that everything looks okay, it looks great. Yeah, as you can tell, it's 3 o'clock right here in Italy at the moment. We're exactly by the Accademia Bridge, and let me give you a 360 degrees view so you can check it out, the entire situation. Here we go. We got Sebastiano that is exactly there, and we're standing right by the side of the Accademia Museum. That normally is the spot that we got the Vitruvian Man, and we got some of the most incredible paintings dating back of the Renaissance time. Let me take you a little bit up the way. As you remember, the situation during the COVID, it was totally super quiet. There was nobody around. Of course, now the situation is completely different, because we're ending up having something like 36 millions of visitors approximately every year, and so the city is starting to be super crazy busy. And even the canals, as you can see, they are starting to be super busy. And so even if it is even if we're in the off season, incredibly the city is really busy. It's mainly busy. We're having quite a lot of boats at this specific moment, because we are having a big massive strike going on, and so there are no public boats, there are no public trains, there are no Frecciarossa, no Italo, no Vaporettos, no nothing. And so normally we're isolated, as we are in an island. At this time we're even more isolated, and everybody's walking, everybody's a kind of cranky and grumpy at this specific moment, because of course the entire situation is not easy, especially for the workers, that some of them, they need to go from place A to place B, and the logistics sometimes is just crazy, and sometimes it's not working that properly. You can tell that at this specific moment we're standing right in front of the Church of the Salute, St. Mary of the Health, and it was the 21st of November that we ended up having the artificial bridge, that it was going from embankment to embankment, and all the locals, actually, they were doing processions to go. L'audio non è buono, controlla il Bluetooth. Give me a second. Let me check it out. Ciao Ginny, welcome to the family. Thank you for joining I Love You Venice. Grazie mille. And so at the moment, so we were definitely, it seems that the audio is getting probably better. Let's check it out. We're testing, but literally think about it, that the Church of the Salute is standing in front of us, and underneath we are expect to have 100,000 ciao Gini, nice to see you. Igor, if you our Super Mario, Sebastiano is Luigi. yeah, we're like Mario and Luigi. We're gonna change jobs soon. We're going to be plumbers. That it might be a great solution. And so think about it, that we got approximately 100,000 wooden pilings that they're holding the Church of the Salute that is right in front of us at the moment. And pretty much somewhere there we got the Guggenheim Museum. And so basically Peggy Guggenheim, the famous Guggenheim Museum that is in New York by Central Park, the same Guggenheim that is in Bilbao, Spain. Peggy, she passed away in Venice in 1979, and basically that's exactly where she was living, in this spectacular landscape and spectacular view. And as long as she was opening the window, she would have faced the Grand Canal. The Canal Grande, the Grand Canal for us actually is our highway, motorway, freeway, is the most important road that we got in town. And for us is like the Fifth Avenue, same idea. I believe that the last time that I was doing virtual tours, it was something like in 2023 or anything closer. And we got something that is extremely new. And è bello rivederti, è bello rivedere tutti. Ciao Eva, buongiorno, ciao, grazie mille. And the building that is standing right in front of us at the moment, that is the Istituto Veneto di Scienze, Lettere e Arte. Now it turned to be a bar. And I was chatting with Sebastiano that he had the chance to have breakfast over there. He said that they do have some incredible croissant, they got some incredible cappuccinos. And so next time that you're coming to Venice, going to have breakfast right here in this spectacular place, especially during summertime, it will be a great idea actually, especially because they got a phenomenal terrace, a phenomenal garden, as you can see, that is just fabulous. Look at there. And having a garden in Venice is like owning a Porsche, a Ferrari, a Pagani, or anything similar actually. That is like the local status symbol. And as you can see, sitting there, enjoying the garden, birds tweeting, and staying away from all the big crowds, that is something extremely spectacular. And then with the garden and sitting in those seats, in those tables right over there. Ciao Carol, buongiorno, glad to see you again, to hear you from you. I hope that all of you are doing great. Thank you on behalf of I Love You Venice. And so that's pretty much the view that you will be having, sipping your coffee directly from there. And that is just spectacular actually. Ciao Nicole, buongiorno, great to see you again. Ciao Marek, buongiorno, ciao, ciao, ciao everyone, ciao to all of you. And so you can see heavy traffic today because the locals, they are struggling to go around because as I said at the beginning, we got a big strike, so we're not able to go much around. And look at the boat that is unloading the boxes right over there. It's pretty much the Amazon delivery here, so everything is based in boats as usual. And so let me see, we already started to put the salt into the bridge because it's starting to be really slippery, really icy. This morning we had something like -1, we had something like 20 degrees Fahrenheit, and so it was freezing. All the boats, they were totally frosted, and it wasn't fun. So we started to put a little bit of salt on the wood, that at least everything can be less slippery. Well, let me show you from the gate because the entrance is from the side, and as you can see, the view here is just so lovely. Look how cool the bar is. So we got the Moro restaurant, and we got the bar that is right on the side. So if you're coming this way, it will be a great idea to zip a coffee right in this area. Here we go. And I show you the sign that he always makes me laugh, which is quite funny. Look at this. So every time that I'm coming here, every time that you will be coming to Venice, remember, walk to the right, line up for two. -1 with that humidity, Nina, absolutely. It would have, at the moment it's freezing. I don't feel the fingers already. Yeah, look how pretty our flower shop is. So we're always extremely lucky that we do our flower shopping directly while that we're walking. The problem is when we're trying to bring the lemon tree at home. And so we got the lemons that they are right over there. We got the kumquat that they are right over there. We got different kinds of, wait a second, that we need to adjust the camera. Wait, let's check it out. Let's see if everything is working. Beautiful green despite December. Marek, you're definitely right, actually. Look, they already prepare all the decorations for Christmas, and we're able to put in our table for all the festivities. Even if this year is a really quiet Christmas, we don't have many incredible decorations. Look at the roses that we're having here, that they are just phenomenal. They are so pretty. And that's pretty much the entire idea of the new restaurant. So if you're the new bar, actually, so if you're coming this way, the venue, it will be definitely incredible. And quite often, actually, they do different kinds of exhibits. They do have incredible stuff going on normally in Palazzo Cavalli. And then of course we're having one of the 8,000 cisterns actually that they are spread out all over the entire Venice. We got something like 5,000 that they used to be private, and then we got 5,000 that they used to be public, and then we got something like 3,000 that they used to be private. Think about summertime, much better sound. That's great. We replug everything. Let me put the mic down a bit. And definitely, as you said, Marek, is quite green compared to other areas that we got in Europe. And so, Viola, you remember this flower shop? Yeah, let's say that is a pretty long time that the flower shop is right here. And as you can see, the view is still phenomenal. And so during summertime, you got a great shade, and you will be quiet and relaxed. And then, of course, we got the Church of San Vidal that at the moment is under restorations. But basically, that's pretty much where we got all the Vivaldi concerts. It's not the only one, but we got many. Ciao a tutti. Ciao Scotty. And so you're celebrating 7 months of members. Greetings from Oklahoma. Ciao Oklahoma. Ciao to all of you. Thank you for joining our walk today, and thank you to be with us today. Grazie, grazie, grazie mille. Yeah, as you can see, it's a kind of busy at the moment, and so this summer it was crazy busy. And it's 2 years in a row that we're not even able to keep up with the entire situation. It's just too much. So if you're planning to come to Venice, just remember not to come during summer, because last summer it turned to be extremely hot, and we ended up with something like 102 degrees actually. And the entire idea is that it was super humid, because we ended up with something like 86% of humidity. So the entire situation, it was kind of crazy. And this year, actually, as last year it didn't rain much. Especially last year, the situation turned to be extremely interesting because right in the middle of the Venetian lagoon, we ended up having, with the archaeologists, they found a Roman village, a Roman town that it was under the water actually, and they found an oyster farm that it was something like 2,000 years old. And so at the moment we are in Campo Santo Stefano. To give you an idea, Piazza San Marco, that's where we're going in a bit, is that way. And you got the sign that is exactly right over there, that you got the arrow, is per, P-R, S. Marco, to St. Mark Square. So as you can see, we got scaffoldings everywhere. It's gonna be a long, give me a second, let me walk away from this area because otherwise it's turning to be really noisy. And the entire situation was a kind of crazy actually, because we're from now until March of April we're going to have more and more scaffolding. Yeah, Gini, now I remember that you was a go guide at the same time as me. That now I connected everything. I'm slow, sorry. So the entire situation is always a kind of funny. And look at the beauty that I hope that we're going to get to Piazza San Marco exactly in time. Look at here. In Venice we go to school with a scooter and we normally lock the scooter right by the elementary school, the kindergarten, and always the kids, they're having a lot of fun. Are there oyster farms in the area nowadays? And so Nina, we do have pink oysters. And the pink oysters, they are normally based in the southern part of the Venetian lagoon, and those are considered pretty interesting actually. And then we got caviar that is produced something like half an hour, 45 minutes outside of Venice, close by Treviso, where I live right now actually. So we got caviar farms too actually. And so the entire situation is getting pretty interesting. If the signal is good, I try to bring you in Calle delle Botteghe, the street of the shops. And so nowadays this part is phenomenal, especially because let's see if the signal is gonna be good all the way down. But basically this street is still phenomenal because we got a lot of antique stores, antique shops. We got a lot of interesting shops like these ones that look at the chessboard. Look how cool the chessboard is, all in glass, and that is just phenomenal actually. The doorknobs, the door knockers that they are all produced in the area of Canareggio, that we're still having one of the oldest foundry actually, and the sand that they use in that area is arriving from Fontainebleau, so France. And look at this, actually we're still having a shop that they sell colors in powder that you're going to produce your mix to produce your perfect combination. And we've got even gold leaf that is right over there. So at this moment we go a little bit further down since that the signal is still working pretty well. Here we go, that we got all the antique shops. But what I would like to show you actually, it's the shop, or better, the marble carving that is coming this way, because right in this area would have been the spot where the Germans used to be, and they used to be the Caligari, and they were the folks that they were making shoes. Look at the details, look how cool the carving is. Here we go, it's in two sides, which is just incredible. And then I show you this one that is exactly up here, and that is pretty cool. So you can clearly see the shoes that is exactly right over there. So let me take you down this way, that we're going to go towards down to Piscina San Samuele. That piscina normally in Italian is swimming pool. But once that you're coming into Venice, it was more like a fish pond. And so to show off that he was doing extremely well, he was coming, especially in the next square that is coming up our way, and that is the square that is where the orange scaffoldings are. And the locals, they were coming here because we would have had this special fish pond, and he was able to buy fish from the fresh water, like carps, trouts, and that, as you can see, is a bigger square, as you can see. And the wooden planks that you see right there, actually, I'm talking about that one. That one actually is the wooden plank that we're normally using when we got the high tide. Sorry for the noise, that is always funny. And we keep going this way. But as you can see, as a street is pretty large, it's pretty big. And you can clearly tell that it would have been like a canal, and that has been converted into a walking area. And then, of course, all over this area we are having the stainless steel planks that we put right in front of our houses, that as long as we're having the high tide, they are going to keep us dry. Otherwise we're going to have wet feet, which is always a big problem, actually. So we're slowly continuing towards the Church of Santo Stefano that we saw a few minutes ago, that we were in the Campo Santo Stefano. And the next street is always funny, interesting, different. It makes me laugh all the time. Let me see if I can show you properly. Here we go. We got Campiello Novo o dei Morti, the new square of the dead, of the deaf. So basically, we're definitely way much more elevated. We got several steps down, and so we're a little bit higher. And this one, actually, it would have been like the cemetery. It's pretty much like New Orleans. Everything is above ground. That's so as long as you're having floods or any kind of problems, you're going to be a kind of dry. And something that normally you don't notice or you don't see much, we got these terracotta decorations that they are just spectacular, actually. And so it's definitely really, really different of the marble that we normally see in the area. Now, if it's going to be open, let me see. No, the gate is already closed. And so I got the black door that is right in front of us, just behind the green canopy. That one is the side entrance of the Agenzia delle Entrate, the tax office. And right there in the cloister of the Church of Santo Stefano, we do have some special marble carving that they definitely represent chessboards and checkers. And so Venice is definitely full of chessboards, especially. Yeah, Nicola took the quiet side because I cannot stand crowds anymore. And so he has been a long summer with a lot of people. And the entire summer has been really interesting because every time that I was meeting up with people, friends and whatever, that I was guiding them around Venice, I was like, would you like to go in some specific areas? Would you like to see something special? And everybody said, I don't care where you take me, I don't want to see people. So it means that he has been really busy for everybody. So I give you a little glimpse. Unfortunately, we got a little bit of dark, but that's pretty much the cloister of attached to the Church of Santo Stefano, and that's at the moment is closed, but that's pretty much where the checkers are, especially under those arches by those columns. Actually, look, that's something that we're not used. So normally we do have high tide. Today we got extremely low tide, and you can tell that normally the water level is the line right over there, and that's the gap that we got. So the entire situation is really different. At the moment is extremely low, and walking to the Ponte dell'Accademia, to the Academy Bridge, the situation was really interesting because a bunch of the canals on the way, they were totally dry, and we didn't have much water actually. So the entire situation was really different. A bunch of boats that were like flip over, almost flip over. And on the last few years, the situation is getting pretty funny because this season, I believe that we ended up with approximately 58 days of extremely high tide. And we had probably a couple of weeks with extremely low tide, and so we are going extreme. Let me show you this one. And so I know we're not in Pisa, but in Venice actually we got something like 4 or 5 leaning towers, and on the last few years they've done injection of concrete to stabilize the entire situation. They've done massive jobs to restore, refix, reclean. We're using quite a lot of scuba divers that are injecting concrete to stabilize the entire situation, because probably a lot of you remember that Venice is based in 120 islands, more than 400 bridges, 150 canals, and we're standing on the top of wooden pilings, poles that are coming from the Dolomiti. And we are at the moment in Campo Sant'Angelo, no clouds at all, and we're having some amazing colors actually. As you can see, 2 more cisterns that are standing exactly here. At the moment we're slowly walking towards Calle della Mandola, and we're having a bunch of happy dogs that they are meeting exactly by the cisterns that they're playing. Let's play, let's go. It's pretty excited. She will never be able to get him. Oh, let me show you this perspective, that so you can get the full idea. Look how beautiful everything is. So everything is so spectacular. So slowly we will be walking towards. See, Nicole, you're definitely right. Today we are extremely lucky because it's extremely dry. There's no humidity. It's super freezing cold, let's say, crispy, chilly. But the colors, they are just phenomenal. In a second, if the signal will support me, I try to bring you to a really incredible spot to enjoy one of the most incredible view of the Grand Canal. Let's check it out. We need a little bit to get down where I need to go, and I'm kind of worried about the signal because today we're having a lot of people, and so we might have a bunch of problems here and there. Look, we're starting to have some Christmas lights, and before getting the Christmas lights, I would like to show you these ones. The friulane pappuse. We call it in different ways actually, but they are pretty much what they are slippers, and that's pretty much what the Venetian gondoliers they used to wear actually. They used to be gondolier shoes, and as you might see underneath, they got bicycle tires. Sorry that we got a little bit of the reflect. We use them for special occasions. We use them for going shopping. We use them every time, especially for those that got funny feet. They're called friulane, from Friuli, because the people from Friuli, they broke the shoes right here actually, and that's a tradition that is coming from our cousin next door. And so if you're coming to Venice, this is a great present to bring home. And this family, actually, there are some of the original one that is something like 3 generations that they are producing those. And so they are buying something super specific. Here we go. We got Rio Terra degli Assassini. Rio, river, terra, land, assassini, assassin. That is pretty much assassin. Why? Because we were having quite a lot of funny things that were happening right here, actually. And it has been one of the first streets that we started to put the illumination. That's in this way. Everybody was able to see. And we would have less troubles and less problems during the dark nights. Especially because illumination and water, they started to arrive between the end of the 1800 and the beginning of the 1900. Before our first way to illuminate the streets, there used to be shrines with little candles. And our security system here used to be called Codega, and the Codega, he used to be a big guy with a lantern. He was holding the lantern and guiding the person home, actually. Here in Italy, in Venice, actually, we say something in a really different way from English. In English, you normally say the third wheel, the fifth wheel. Basically, when your best friend is standing there and spoiling the romance, what is happening actually? It's normally happening actually here that you say you hold the candle. You are the chandelier. Microfono sostituisce. Il microfono dico non funziona. Aspetta un attimo. Marco, per piacere controlla il microfono come va. Adesso l'ho spento e riacceso, dimmi se funziona, grazie. Yeah, we're checking the microphone that at the moment is a kind of funny. Let me know, otherwise we take everything off. And so the signal is still phenomenal, and the view that we're having from here is just outstanding. So let me see, let's check it out. Look at this, prepare yourself because the view is just great. Io sento bene, ok, grazie mille Nicole, anche Nina sente, grazie, ottimo. Marco, sei solo tu che non senti niente. Sembra ok, perfetto. And so the old way of switching off and switching on is always working. Look at the view that we're having from here. From my point of view, this is my favorite spot. There's nothing like this view. Unfortunately, let me see if I can use the zoom. Oh yeah. Look at this. Let me try to read off of some of the scaffoldings. But basically, we're standing right the Ponte di Rialto, the Rialto Bridge that is right in front of us. We got even the moon that is right over there on our right hand side. And everything looks so romantic. And as some of you were saying that the colors, they are just spectacular. Let me show you these. So basically, we are still in the Grand Canal. Give me a second. There we go. Yeah, the colors, they are just unreal. They look like an aquarelle. Non capisco molto, ma il suono è buono. Ok, immagino se sei italiano. Don't dive in. No, I'm not diving in. I'm already frosted enough. I'm not looking forward for a swim. No, you're right, Violet. And so even for me, that I'm using this spot millions of times. Actually, every time that I'm coming here, we are pretty much melting, like all of us. And you are totally in love with the entire situation, and so the view is always spectacular. The only thing is that the nose is getting frosted and I don't feel it anymore, but it's a different story. Let's say tomorrow morning, I believe that it will be really, 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 really cold. Where is the chandelier guy? The chandelier guy used to be behind me, Sebastiano. He disappeared. Let me see if I can zoom a little bit more, that's so you can get a better view. There we go. The chandelier guy, the Codega, is trying to make his own way to Piazza San Marco without getting frosted, without being used by Santa Claus. The sky is blue, near Milan is gray. Oh, look at this. Give me a second, let me try to go back. We go down this way. That I try to take you towards Campo Manin, and then we make our way to Piazza San Marco. And so in this way we see the view of the square, and we check it out how the situation is. Yeah, before that you was saying that I took the quiet street, and so let's say that as long that you stick with the main street is crazy busy. As long that you are off the beaten path, you take one or two side streets, you are on your own, literally. And here we go, our chandelier guy. That's so Sebastiano is standing right over there, waiting, illuminating, lightening up the way. And at this moment, we're exactly by the Fortuny Museum, actually, that the main headquarters is in the section of Giudecca, and that is always spectacular, actually. And skies are always blue in Venice, even if it is grey. Sometimes you can never tell, actually. Sometimes the situation it can be really bad. So we had a bunch of funny storms during the summer season that they were not nice at all, actually. Well, other than that, we had some hailstorms, and the hail was as big as a baseball ball, and the situation was a kind of funny. Anyway, so let's try to stick with the main street. So we're right by the Cinema Rossini, the cinema that is one of the few left. And what is really interesting is right here that you got our mosaics, that we got companies like Orsoni that is situated exactly by Canareggio, that they do some spectacular masterpieces of art, actually. Some of them they are in glass and gold leaf. And they were still having a family, actually, that they're called Battiloro, that they produce gold leaves, and those are incredible, actually. And then, of course, gold leaf is going to be used by the maestros in Murano, of course, to do those incredible masterpieces of art. Oh, give me a second, that this road is bigger. We got some Christmas lights here and there. Let's see, we got a few streets actually this year that we got a little bit of lights. We got this one that is linking Campo San Luca, let's say Rialto, to the Accademia Bridge. We do have the section close by Piazza San Marco, under the arches of St. Mark's Square, and then actually in St. Mark's Square, facing the water, facing the bay, we do have... is the mic not working? Let me check. Can you hear me? Can you let me know? Mi sentite? Mi controllate il microfono? Grazie mille. Let me know if you are able to hear me. If there's any problem, let me know. Try to restart. Okay. Is somebody that is having issues too, but all of us actually. The problem here is that today, as you can tell, we do have a lot of reconstruction works going on. We do have the strike going on, and it's a kind of difficult to move through the city today. Beside all the reconstruction works here, that is something like a lifetime that they are based right in this area, as you can tell. Here we go. So they started to fix the entire thing the past summer, but they are still working on it. It will take a bit. So by now we are exactly in Campo Manin, and every time that you're coming here, you're realizing we can hear you bathing. Ok, grazie mille Fred, ottimo. And so once that you are coming this side, sound is good, thank you Scotty. And once that you are coming here, actually you got this view that is always funny and interesting, because as you can tell, the bank is not really matching with the rest of the island. And once that we started to do this kind of architecture in the 60s and 70s, we thought that it was one of the best one actually. Maybe nowadays the feeling is slightly different. And yeah, the other thing which is always funny, we got this street right ahead of us that is Calle Cavalli, the street of the horses. We got even a street of horse and carriages, because the artisans that they were working right here in Venice, they were doing such an excellent job, and they were producing the carriages exactly here in the island actually, and then they would have been sending everything into the mainland. So the entire situation always been extremely interesting. So the best artisans, they were producing any kind of stuff, any kind of material, any kind of wood carving, glass blowing in the city. So they done a real amazing job. Here we go. Slowly we're getting Campo San Luca. So normally these are the closest decorations that you're able to find once that you're coming this way. And this one is Marchini time. If you're looking for a great coffee spot with amazing pastries, this is the spot, Marchini. And that's pretty much where I'm normally going to have my coffee in the morning with the punchetto. And the punchetto is a solid chocolate cake with rum or nuts, or you do have cherries inside that are always phenomenal. Ciao, buon viaggio a tutti. Ciao, ciao, welcome to the channel. Thank you on behalf of I Love You Venice for joining us today. He has been great after a long time to hear and see all of you. And as you can see, we got new scaffoldings. This one used to be the Hotel Bonvecchiati, just being bought by an Austrian company, and they're going to convert the entire building into a new hotel. And so starting from now, as we said, we're going to have more and more scaffoldings. Next year, if you're coming to Italy, it will be crazy, especially because we're going to have the Jubilee in Rome. And so if you're going to go to Rome, it will be crazy. Good afternoon. Ciao Sonotus, ciao, how are you? Everything is good? I hope so. And so let's check it out. That at this specific moment, we are half a block away from Piazza San Marco. So we're not far. We're right by the Bacino Orseolo, that is one of the largest gondola parking lot that we got in the area, and especially in this section we got a bridge that is coming our right hand side in a second. Here we go. We got the view with the gondola and the bridge. As you can see, the water is extremely low at this specific moment, and that bridge has been used by 007 Casino Royale, and the lover, she was dressed up in red, and she was standing exactly there actually. And year after year we're having more and more movies that are coming, and so they just finished to shoot something. We still don't know which. It was a historical movie, and we had historical gondolas, historical gondolier uniforms that has been seen pretty much everywhere for the entire summer season. Look how low the water is at the moment, and look, those kind of things that are right over there, that they are this side, but they are even this side. This has been one of the oldest ways to block it off the entire canal, pump the water out and drain and make the water deep, clean up the entire canal and reorganize the entire canals and make those nicer and cleaner, and which is always important for Venice actually. And so, Igor, are many tourists expected for the Christmas holiday? So, Renato, the situation is really interesting this year. So, it's ages that every year, the 1st of January, I'm always working, which is funny. And this year, for the first time, I'm not working. And so, let's say this December is definitely more quiet than the other Decembers actually. And now the entire situation is getting really interesting because we're having less and less people for Christmas, but we had an extremely crazy busy summer, so we cannot complain. Even if we're going to have a little bit of less people, it's not a problem. It's good. We need to recharge the batteries because it has been exhausting. But I say, it's the only month, this one, that is quiet. This year, Carnival is starting really early because it will be around February, and by the beginning of March is already over. And so all the folks that are coming for Carnival, it will be totally freezing at that point. And so it's going to be super cold. It will be a super cold. James comparing that 007 Igor, like Frankenstein Jr. We need to change the title. You can clearly recognize the campanile, the bell tower of Piazza San Marco. And let's try to make our way to the square actually, that at this specific moment we are having several reconstruction works going on, because right in the middle of the square actually they found the original floor, and which is dated back to the medieval time, and they found a medieval tower, which is always extremely interesting. Let me try to go this side, overtake, and so prepare yourself because until this point we saw a lot of little tiny narrow alleys, and starting from now the square will be definitely pretty big and massive. Here we go, we're starting to see some Christmas lights, and so unfortunately for the video the lights, they're not so spectacular, but in the reality they are definitely better. And this year, like last year, they are doing something really special. Give me a second. Yeah, it's the let's start this side. Give me a second. Yeah, I give you a little glimpse of the square already, so you can get a full idea of Piazza San Marco at sunsetting. So the view is of course outstanding as usual. Let's say we got probably more people in the alleys rather than Piazza San Marco, And this year we're having something that, as I told you, is like called Glass Christmas. And some of the best maestros, glass blowing maestros from the island of Murano, they created some incredible chandeliers with amazing design, and the Venice municipality give the opportunity to all these maestros to show off all these beautiful chandeliers, illuminations, exactly like last year actually. There are one better than the other, and some of them, they are just incredible. Look at this. And so I remember that several years ago, while that they were doing Glass Christmas, we would have had a big star with flames in Murano, right by the bell tower actually, next door to the square, next door to the Basilica. We would have had a Christmas tree made out of pipes, and that was really spectacular. That's my favorite one, the next one, because it's a kind of different. And look at this, give me a second. Let me try to zoom, otherwise you don't understand what they are. They're snakes. Those are really nice and interesting. Opa. Let me go back to the square, that's so you can get the full idea. Here we go, we're exactly opposite to the Caffè Florian. That is one of the oldest coffee places that we got in Italy, and we're talking about something like 300 years old. Here we go. We're exactly in the middle of one of the most beautiful squares that we got in Italy. So we got part of the Corral Museum, pigeons attack, exactly like Alfred Hitchcock. So we got the Corral Museum, we got the wing of the Assicurazioni Generali that is standing right here. And wait a second, exactly here that we're having the scaffolding. It was during Easter time that we found Roman coins, while that they were restoring, recleaning literally everything. It is exactly like vermicelli. And yeah, the reflection at the moment of the sun into the mosaics of the Basilica is good, but it's not super strong. And let me take you right by the Christmas tree that is in Piazza San Marco. And so we were discussing about the scaffoldings that you saw it around. So let's say we started last year in the square. Sì, esatto, Nicole, sono 10 artisti che illuminano Piazza San Marco e sono tra i migliori di Murano, che gli hanno dato l'opportunità, come l'anno scorso, di mostrare le favolose opere che hanno fatto, e sono incredibili, ovviamente. Yeah, we got these 10 artists actually that they are showing off their own skills and how good they are actually. And it's 2 years in a row actually, and they're doing an amazing job. Here we go, slowly we're getting into the square. Mado. Yeah, we got the pigeons that are really close today actually. I believe that they don't control much, especially because they're getting frozen and they are not able to balance anything. It's okay, Nicole. So we are pretty much international. It's not a big deal. Tutto bene, va tranquilla. And so let me try to go this side, otherwise you're not able to see it. But basically, behind this scaffolding, we got the folks that are playing jigsaw, puzzle. And those are the stones that they are cleaning, that they are refixing, and each stone his number, so at least we know exactly where to put them, otherwise it's always complicated. And unfortunately, if you're coming back this summer, you are not gonna be able to see the original floor. It's pretty much the last week, this one, and they cover up almost the they almost cover up the entire square, but you can clearly see that we got like a well that is right over there. We got the original floor with the bricks. Give me a second. Somewhere over there, actually, we got the remains. They found the remains of a watchtower dating back of the medieval time. So the entire situation is just spectacular. So they are digging deeper and deeper and deeper, and they are finding more and more and more interesting stuff. Grazie in veneziano. Sbrissa ogni tanto, sbrissa. Sbrissa. Oh, here we go. Jenga. See, yeah, it definitely looked like Jenga. I definitely agree. So since that they are refixing the entire floor, they moved the Christmas tree a little bit further down. And let me try to find a spot. I don't think that we're able to fit the entire Christmas tree, but at least you can get a little glimpse actually. Let me try to move a little bit further this side. Let me try to see if we can put the entire Christmas tree in. Wait a second. There we go. I believe that we got the last glimpse of the sunset. Let's try to walk through. It turned to be a mission impossible even during winter time. I don't see any pensioner looking. L'Umarell. Umarell actually is, the translation is the little man. That of course is the folks that they got retired, that they are checking the reconstruction works. And it was a few months ago that in a reconstruction area they put a poster with a price list for the folks that they are retired. It was like, if you would like to look at what we're doing, you pay €5 entrance fee. If you would like to come inside, we give you a special tour for something like €20. If you would like to express yourself and tell us how we're supposed to do it, it's something like €50. And so the workers, they were kind of fed up with the folks that they were retired. And they're always telling, oh yeah, if it would have been me, I would have done that way, that way, that way. And so, which is always funny and interesting. So we started from the Ponte dell'Accademia. Actually, we are right opposite. Let me try to find a spot to give you a 360 degrees view of the bay in San Marco. And as you can see, the view is pretty spectacular. Yeah, you can tell that the tide is pretty bad at the moment, or is pretty low, because you can easily see all the seaweeds. So it means that normally is all under the sea actually. Here we go. Look how incredible the entire view. Chat is now open to everyone. Ciao folks. If you would like to tell anything, we're happy. Let me try to take you down here. So I would like to show you the last view over the Church of San Giorgio. That I was in the Church of San Giorgio. San Giorgio the Great was something like a few weeks ago. That Julian Lennon, he was doing a pretty amazing exhibit of photos, and that was just phenomenal actually. So this year the Biennale has been pretty interesting, and as usual we're extremely lucky because we got one event after the other. Let me try to find a good spot so I can show you a little bit around, so I can give you the full 360 degrees. How is Said doing? Said is doing great actually. He's got one daughter and one son in the meanwhile actually. The last one arrived in August actually, but Said is doing great. Grazie Nina. No, we're still friends, and we're always extremely lucky that we run into each other with especially this job. So let's do like this. That I would like to say thank you to all of you for coming today. Thank you for being with us the entire tour. Thank you. So we've been able to see how Venice look like during this time of the year. Grazie mille and happy holidays to all of you. Hope to see you around Venice anytime. I don't think that I will be moving much. Arrivederci on behalf of I Love You Venice. Grazie mille e alla prossima. We finish with a great view of wait a second. A great view of San Giorgio. Grazie, ciao a tutti, alla prossima, arrivederci.